How do I even start this? Hmm. What is life? Do I deserve to live at all? At a young age, for as long as I can remember, I always found myself asking that question, whether it be directed towards my parents or myself. I grew up an outcast, always seen as the weird kid who probably had a screw loose, and that stuck with me. I developed anxiety when meeting new people, I got depressed, I hated myself, I still do, but the fact of the matter is, that question remained unanswered to me. What is life? Do I deserve to live at all? Before your eyes is a game. The well, what else could it be? Well, it's an experience, something that only a few games I've ever laid hands on that just magically just resonated with me, both emotionally and psychologically. The whole gimmick of the game is that it tracks your blinks. Yeah, like that type of blinking via the camera on your PC. With those blinks, you travel down memory lane of one named Bryn. Each blink skipping you through memories, making you want to keep your eyes open, fearing you may miss something while going through these memories. You just sit back and watch things unfold. As fragmented as the memories are, they're just enough to make a compelling and cohesive story. Benjamin Bryn was a young kid who grew up at the beachside town. With both of his parents, Elle and Richard. Elle was a music composer turned accountant, while Richard was a professor for maritime archaeology. Growing up, Bryn was found to be quite a talented kid. He could play the piano, he could draw, he saw the world differently, and interpreted it through those two mediums. Although he was forced more into the piano as Elle was super excited to finally have a possible genius within the family, seeing that she herself failed to be one. I've never taken a game so seriously before. The moment I pressed start, I immediately locked in. Seeing how serious and melancholic the tone was, aside from the story, the visual completely blew me away. It may not be this AAA realistic art style, but I found it immaculate to say the least. With how creative the devs were implementing it in unique ways, the music was perfect. Each scene complemented heavily by these beautiful chords and keys in the background. There was never a dull moment while playing. Part of the reason why I was so immersed in the storytelling was probably because I found myself in Bryn. I resonated with him, seeing we both grew up lonely, not really having much people to consolidate to. I empathized with him. We both were unhappy with ourselves, wanting to change, yet feeling so frustrated at not having the strength to do so. The wanting to meet up to other people's expectations, scared at even the possibility of disappointing them. I've never felt so targeted while playing a game. It felt like I was being called out by the devs themselves, and it's probably why I grew up to love and hold this game at such a high standard. Reaching the end, I found myself valuing life even more. No matter how short lived it is, it's still something to look back on. No matter the ups and downs it has, it's something you should value, something you should live to the fullest. Because you don't really know when it will end. One day you could be sitting and laughing with your loved ones, and the next you're just gone. Each sip from your usual cup of joe, each time you hug your friends, should be valued, because it may be the last time you'll ever do so. So cherish every waking moment. Love to your heart's content. Because after this, I believe there's nothing else. And that's what makes life so special. Live, not under a mask, not behind someone else's shadow, but by everything you need to be as yourself. Because all of it can disappear before your eyes.
Benjamin Bryn was born into an ordinary home to an ordinary mother and father in a small town by the sea. His mother was a composer, or at least that's what she dreamed she'd be. So, when her own dreams didn't pan out, she began to dream for him. But then, when he was just 11 years old, he got sick and was forced to stay inside for an entire year. And in that year, he began to worry that he hadn't lived enough. So he made up a story of the great life he thought he wanted to live, which only made him forget the great life he already had. How he had filled a new home with light and joy and promise. How he met a girl, his neighbor, who felt all alone in the world and made her feel okay again. And how, even when he was sick, he still gave his parents hope. How he reminded them exactly who they were after they had almost forgotten. So when he knew he was going to go, he was okay. Because he'd already lived a great life, a full life, and he was everything he needed to be.